Hi, my name is John Kelly. I'd like to welcome you to SoftballSmarts.com. I decided to do this video to reach out to you face-to-face, cyberspace speaking, to give you a little more background on myself and why I started Softball Smarts and Winner's Edge Softball, and how I really think I can help you and your athlete and your family out. My background is pretty diverse. In fact, I think I bring a pretty unique voice to youth sports. I had the privilege to be a two-sport athlete in college. I played baseball at the Division I level. I played football as well. I also started coaching in 1996 at the high school level in baseball, and started coaching soccer. My daughter was 5 years old, and over the last 10 plus years I've been coaching youth softball specifically. Like, I've coached now probably close to 800 games in softball and probably 1,000 games overall. So I've seen an awful lot on the field as a game coach. I also have a teenage daughter, so I've been a sports parent like you are for a long time. And believe me, I know the pleasure and pain that means. Particularly when you're coaching your own daughter, that's a pretty tough road to hoe for both parent and athlete. And we survived that. I don't coach my daughter anymore, so we passed through that. We're still talking to one another. I spent several years on the board of my daughter's youth softball organization, so I really understand, if you're at the recreational level, what the goals and motivations are for your league and for your players and for your coaches. I also have been a mental skills student for about 25 years, and have been teaching mental skills to young athletes for several years. And what I really started to, when I started to put it all together for me, was when I started to coach. And like a lot of people, I coached the way I was coached. You know, we always say when our kids grow up, they're going to parent our grandkids the way we parented them. It's the same as a coach. I coach the same way that I was coached, and I had some very good coaches in high school and college. But when I started coaching and the kids started getting older and getting better at the game, I recognized there was something missing, because our league never really produced a lot of winners. We had great athletes. My daughter's high school that she's in now probably is the #1 high school in the county of San Diego as far as winning, CIF championships in almost every sport. But somehow in softball, at the recreational level, we really weren't getting it done to the degree that I thought we could, given our athletic ability. So I started to say, well, why can't I take the mental skills that I have and tools that I know and strategies and implement them over to my softball team? And lo and behold, in 2008, I started to do that. And much to my surprise, really, we started to win. We started to do things I'd never seen any team do in our league before. To give you a point of perspective, in 20 years, our league had never sent one team to the national tournament, never qualified. We probably won a couple of games at the state level. We're talking about 80 teams, 8, 10, 12, 14-year-olds for 20 years. We'd never achieved very much in the big picture. Well, after our success in 2008, in 2009, I said, you know what? Let's make a goal. Let's go to the national tournament. Most of the parents laughed at me because we'd never come close. It's like shooting for the stars, and if you fall short, you hit the moon. We hadn't even left the atmosphere yet. That's how far our league had gone. Not because we didn't try, didn't have great kids and great parents and great coaches and great board members. There just was something missing. And I was determined to find out what that was. So when I started to refine my newfound coaching philosophy, we started to win. And in 2009, we put it all together. My kids played relaxed. They played confident. Didn't matter if we got down by runs. I didn't focus on the score. I didn't focus on the results. And somehow we won 45 games. We won our district championship. We finished third in our state tournament behind 2 heavyweights in the recreational world in Southern California, where we're at, and finished top 10 at the national tournament. We'd achieved all the goals we set. We won 7 tournaments during the season. And the exciting thing about that is that ever since we did that now, it's been 3 years running, our recreation league has sent teams to the national tournament again. So we shattered a glass ceiling, but we did it with a way that had not been done before. In 2010, I went on now, my daughter moved on to a travel organization, one of the top ones in the country, took a team that hadn't had a lot of great success, and we finished second in the Triple Crown World Series in Park City, Utah. We won 8 straight elimination games, including winning the championship game before we lost a second championship game, the if necessary game, in the last inning. We did things that had not been done before. And so I found on the field that this philosophy of integrating mental skills with physical skills was the way to do it. Today, too many athletes, there's a disconnect. Too many athletes practice great, don't play great. See, as a parent, I feel your pain. Now more than ever today in America, particularly in travel or competitive softball situations, we're paying a lot of money for $300 bats and all the other equipment you got to buy. For travel dues, travel expenses, hotels, gas, food, the whole deal. And players are spending more time than they've ever spent before in the field preparing to play the game. And yet, as I had seen years before, there's a disconnect, a missing link, a missing ingredient that takes successful practice and turns it into successful performance on game day. Kids leave that comfort zone of practice with their private coach, with their team, and when the lights go on or the chalk gets laid down in the dirt, the umpires come out and the uniforms go on, somehow it's a different story. I'm sure as a parent you look and say, who is that player? Who is that team? I've done it a lot. And I've come to recognize that's the problem, that today our kids are under so much pressure. The expectations are so high for their performance in our sports-obsessed society that they have a hard time coping with that. So between my background, the success I achieved on the field, and what I really had experienced, taking a step back as a mental skills expert, I recognized there was a void of information, a void that I could give to the softball community. I was tired of seeing kids, crying because they got out. I was tired of seeing parents berating their kids between games. I was tired of seeing kids having a difficult time focusing and having really no idea what they're doing out there mentally. When I had experienced myself as an athlete in college, the importance, as Olympic athletes do, professional athletes do, and elite athletes worldwide, all know the value and the necessity of integrating proper mental skills training with physical training. And understand, as a game coach, physical training is essential to being successful, isn't it? Every player should have a hitting coach and a pitching coach and a defensive coach or a conditioning coach. The game's too hard to master without that kind of physical training. But to do physical training alone without integrating mental training is not a good game plan. See, I know what your goals are. As a parent, I have the same goals for my daughter and for my team. I want them to play the best they can be. I want them to play to their potential. And I want them to enjoy the game. See, sports, above all else, should be fun, shouldn't it? And I see so many kids on the weekends when I coach, other teams that I coach and I see walking around, they're not having fun. The coaches are yelling at them, the parents are yelling at them, they're yelling at each other, they yell at the umpires, and they're like 12 years old, or 14 years old, or 10 years old. You see it everywhere nowadays. So, in a long roundabout way, I'm getting to the point that I started Softball Smarts and Winners Edge Softball to help, to get back to the softball community. I've had the pleasure traveling the country doing tournaments, the pleasure talking to and dealing with softball parents and kids that I coach one-on-one mental skills training all over the country. And I really wanted to give back something. I wanted to create some tools that you can personally pick up right now on this website. On the right-hand side here, I get mixed up here with the camera, is a list of all of the articles I've written here by category. Please feel free to read them. Please go out, have your athlete read them. If you can glean just a couple of little tidbits of strategy or concepts that you can implement in the games, your athlete will be a much better player and she'll be much happier and have more fun playing the sport. That's the goal, see? Now, if you are like most parents looking, hopefully, for your daughter to get a softball scholarship for college, I've talked to a lot of Division I coaches in softball, and I know what they're looking for. They want the athlete that gets it up here. They want the athlete where they can say, look, we're making a huge investment in you for the cost of tuition and room and board and training and travel and all of that it takes to play ball in college. We can only really make that investment to somebody that's going to be able to be a peak performer, someone that's going to be advanced between the ears, someone who's bringing the passion and the joy and the effort and the attitude and the mental awareness and focus it takes to win. So within these pages of the articles I've written, the videos and audios that I've done, the books that I've written, including my latest book, How She Thinks is How She Plays, that information is there for you to utilize. So please take the time to do that. I want your athlete to be better. I want you as a parent to be able to communicate better with her. I want the experience of playing sports to be what it was when I played. It should be fun. It should teach life lessons. It should give her memories that she carries on as an adult. Positive memories, by the way. So please take the time to review what's on this website. As well, I do a daily mental minute that's on both Facebook and Twitter. So please feel free to go to Twitter, the link here on this side of the website. Facebook and Twitter, both there. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. On Facebook, I also put occasional polls and surveys and questions to be answered. I would love to have you involved in that to really expand the community for mental skills training for softball. Again, I do offer private mental skills training, but I would also encourage you to email me or call me with any questions you have about your athlete. I would love to help out. Not a big deal. Would love to answer an email. I have a short conversation with you to see if my knowledge and wisdom and expertise can help you and your athlete out. That's what I did this for. Again, I'm a parent like you. I understand what you're going through. You know, I'm on the other side of the fence nowadays, but also my daughter's playing high school. I'm on your side of the fence, and I know what you're going through. So please understand I'm here to help. Again, thank you so much for dropping by the website. Do avail yourself to all that I have to offer here, and I wish your athlete great success in the 2012 season.